Congratulations! You are about to learn the secrets most people will never know about real estate investing. Right now, there are investors making thousands of dollars each month. These investors are doing this with no money, no credit, and some of them zero experience. How are these people doing this, you may ask? Well, let's first talk about the current real estate market. What do we know right now? Home prices are at an all-time low. Foreclosures are at an all-time high. Sellers are more motivated than ever. And there are thousands of investors looking for cheap houses. The current real estate market trends, as you can see from this little graph here, we were going up way above normal. And now, after the 2006, 2007-ish crash, we're going way down. Home prices, it's hard to tell if they're falling right now or if they're leveling off. I think they're still going to fall a little more in some areas. Some areas are starting to see a little growth. But according to RealtyTrack, home repossessions will rise in 2011 from the record 1 million homes that were repossessed in 2001 or 2010. There are 5 million homeowners who are at least 2 months behind on their mortgage payments due to job loss, declining home prices, which also pushes more borrowers underwater. What does all this mean? Right now is the greatest time in history to buy property. You can buy rentals that cash flow. You can buy wholesale properties at pennies on the dollar. Now is the time to create your future. Start creating your financial freedom now. With real estate investing, you can create the life you have always dreamed of, provide wealth for generations. You can make sure that you have a retirement. I know that you don't want to depend on retirement plans like IRAs, like 401ks, or the government. They're not going to help you out. And you can provide for your family. You can travel the world. And you can have the time to do what you want. The best way to create financial freedom is real estate investing. And there are several different types of real estate investing. You can wholesale property, you can rehab, you can rent properties, you can flip mobile homes, and more. There's endless amounts of things or ways you can make money through real estate investing. Now, what is wholesaling? Wholesaling is the technique of placing a bargain price property under contract and then quickly assigning, flipping the deal to another investor buyer who will close in your place. You make a quick $3,000, $5,000, $30,000 or more, and this takes $0 to do. Here's a wholesale that I did. I purchased this property for $25,000, wholesaled it for $38,000, and made $13,000 in profit, doing no work on the deal at all. Let's talk a little bit about rehabbing. What is rehabbing? Rehabbing is flipping houses. You simply buy a house to fix up and then resell, and that's it. It's a little known that you can do rehabs with other people's money, no money of your own. You can make $20,000 plus on a single rehab. Here's a rehab that me and my partner did. Purchased for $87,000. Rehab cost was $1,000. It was just simple. Paint the house and shampoo the floors, and we sold it for $119,900. Profited $31,050 after closing. Creating long-term cash flow. Rental property. Buying rental property is your retirement. You buy these property for monthly passive income. You create equity, and they give you great tax advantages. Here's a rental that I purchased for $40,000, rehabbed it for $10,000, and it was a 3-bedroom, 1-bath in the front, and then the back was a converted shop building. We turned it into a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, and these 2 units rent for $10,050. Our monthly expenses are $432, so we have monthly cash flow of $618. It's amazing. Here's another strategy that I love: flipping mobile homes. This mobile home I purchased just a couple months ago. Purchased it for $4,500. Repaired it for around $1,800. The lot rent on the property was $295. My total investment was $6,619.57, and I sold this thing for $15,000. It only took me a couple weeks to do this, and I had my buyer lined up before I even finished fixing up the property. I made a quick $8,380. So what do you need to get started? The first thing you need is a desire. Here's a quote I like: "Desire is the starting point of all achievement, not a hope, not a wish, but a keen, pulsating desire which transcends everything." And that's by Napoleon Hill. And that's very true. You have to want it bad. If you don't want to succeed, if you don't want to create a life, if you don't want to work hard, because it's going to take work, you will never succeed in real estate investing. And you also need education. Education is important because if you don't know what you're doing, good luck. Here's a quote I like: "Experience is a great advantage. The problem is when you get the experience, you're too damn old to do anything about it." Jimmy Connors. I like that because what he's talking about is that, yes, experience is very important, but it does take a long time to get that experience, and sometimes there's a faster way. You can learn from other people on how to do stuff, and the next step is, what do you need to know about real estate investing? Well, the first thing you need to know is how to get started. You need to know how to find motivated sellers, also known as good deals. Good deals come from motivated sellers. You need to know how to market your business online. Right now, there was a recent stat I read. It was something like 88% of buyers and sellers are going online to sell their property or to look to buy their property. Did you know that you can create a cheap real estate investing website for under $20? Yes, it's true. And these websites look just as good as, or if not better than, some of the websites you can buy for $500 or $1,000. You also need to know how to wholesale houses. Right now, wholesaling is huge. You need to know how to rehab houses, and you need to know how to easily find leads. There's little known probate leads that are pretty amazing. They are some of the best leads you'll find. And you have to have all the right contracts and all the right marketing material. And so how do you get educated? Well, you read books, you go to seminars, talk to other investors, get a mentor, and you buy courses online. It's pretty simple. If you just read the right books and learn from the right people, you will have success. And I want to thank you for listening. This is brought to you by Real Estate Flipping Secrets, flippingrealestateforcash.com. Thank you very much.